Hey guys, before this video starts, I just wanted to quickly mention that we're going to be doing a Halloween live stream on October 31st, Halloween night, starting at around 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I, Alex, am going to be playing Friday the 13th, Costume Quest 2, and South Park. So make sure you join us on Podcast Now at youtube.com. We're going to be live streaming that night, just playing those 3 games, having some fun. I'll be talking to you guys through live stream, anything you want to talk about, just, a nice little hangout to celebrate Halloween together. So I will see you guys there. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and I'm here today to give my reaction to Ghost of Tsushima, the newest game from Sucker Punch. Now, I kind of want to talk about this game, give my reaction and thoughts on, seeing this game for the first time, as well as talk a little bit about what I think the future of the Infamous games are going to be. So this game was announced at the PlayStation Paris Games Week. They had a conference. They had a lot of different games announced, and we're going to be having a couple more, reactions on those games as the days go on, a few other ones coming out, but this was obviously one of the bigger announcements. This is a game from a studio that has been in hiding, really, the last 3.5 years. Ever since Infamous Second Son, ever since Infamous First Light, we haven't seen anything on Sucker Punch, and it's kind of left people a little alarmed. This is a studio that is very, very talented. They obviously are the likes of Infamous and even Sly Cooper before it, and they really are some of the juggernauts of Sony's, PlayStation staple of games. And with Infamous Second Son, they kind of took a huge step back, I think. I think Infamous Second Son was a bad game, and First Light definitely was much better. I think it was a very good improvement. They can still make an Infamous game, but they definitely took a step back, and they've been in hiding ever since, and now we get to see this new game. So it's a samurai game. It's during the Mongol invasion and feudal Japan, so it's got a really nice historic backdrop. It's got a very interesting backdrop. You play as a samurai on this island, protecting the island. You're kind of its protector against this incoming invasion, and I like that. The story and what they're trying to at least tell right now seems very, very interesting, and I think it can work. I think this game can be a very, very good game. It's obviously a pretty big difference from Infamous, where Infamous is very much focused on powers and what does it mean to be a superhero, right? What do you want to be, a good superhero? Do you want to be a bad one? Where do you walk that line? And it's the story of that kind of stuff and that kind of character. In this one, it's very different. You have to introduce the historic element. They have to introduce kind of the environment of this being in Japan and this being during an invasion in a very historic time, whereas you didn't really have to do that with Infamous. You could just place it wherever with the backdrop of superpowers. So it's a little different. I think it's a little bit more engaged in this game. So there's a little bit more to it. What they need to hit on is what they missed in Infamous Second Son, and where they achieved in the Infamous games before it, is character. You need to hit on the character. Now, this samurai person looks pretty cool. And, we got to see him in the cutscenes being talked to by this guy saying, like, do you surrender? You've been very powerful, and I've been studying you, and I know, like, how you think and stuff like that. It's a very cool kind of cat and mouse game, it seems, between these two characters. And I think that's going to be very fun to explore, but they need to make him a very strong protagonist, somebody that you can relate to, somebody that the choices actually are going to matter. Now, I don't know how much choice-based things they're going to give you, like they did in Infamous, but it is an open world. You are going to be able to explore and kind of tell your own story and the things that you do in the world. So I would assume that it is going to be a decision kind of based game. The thing with Infamous is it always has been this black and white kind of thing where there's like this main choice or this other main choice. And games have kind of started to blend the line where there's more than one choice, or there's more than two choices, and where, they are these kind of big contrasts, but maybe there's some in the middle. And especially Infamous 1 and 2, and then when it got to Second Son, it started seeming a little too repetitive, where it's just this blatant good decision or blatant bad decision. I'd like to see them kind of expand upon decision making a little bit more in this game. Make it so it's harder to make the choice. Make it so that you're not maybe just picking good or bad, but maybe somewhere in between as well. That's what I'm looking for in this game. I think they're going to be able to make a really good world. Infamous Second Son looked phenomenal for when it came out. I think this game is going to look very, very good. And they've talked about it in the video where they kind of interview the developers of this game in Sucker Punch, and they talk about how we have these preconceived notions of like what a samurai is and how they would act and how they would fight in our own minds just by ourselves. And they find that really cool to see, like, okay, let's see what they're going to feel when they actually play our game and see how we did it. So I'm excited to see what their samurai game got. The last time we really got a samurai game, I mean, Neo was like that. A samurai was in For Honor, but this is very different. This is this open world. The Infamous games controlled very differently than any other game, really. I really liked, actually, Infamous's style of controls and how it played. So I'm excited to see what this kind of game is going to feel like. What are the controls going to be like? How are you going to play? How are you actually going to fight people with your sword? Obviously, there'll probably be abilities, but, not superhero abilities, but maybe other samurai abilities. So I have a lot of confidence in them. I think they can do it. Obviously, they took a step back with Second Son. They need to take that step forward. They're looked at as this, when you think of Sony and when you think of PlayStation, you think of Sucker Punch, or at least you used to. And you used to think about Infamous. And now you got this new game. So hopefully when we think of Sucker Punch, we can think, oh, they're the developers of Infamous and Ghost of Tsushima. Where, when we think of like a Naughty Dog, we don't think, okay, they're just the makers of Last of Us or just Uncharted. No, they made both. Right, they're this, they're this big deal. So it'll be cool to see if Sucker Punch can actually pull it off. I think they will. It's been in the making for a very long time, so I would assume it's coming out relatively soon. I would assume 2018, and maybe in the fall, probably in the fall. But they've definitely been working on it a very long time, and so I see no reason why it should be any later than 2018. And as for the future of Infamous, it's a little sad, right? Because I loved Infamous 1 and 2. I think those are some of the best games ever put on PlayStation. And they obviously, I think, made a major misstep not making a 3, but making a Second Son. And obviously, they took a huge step back. I think Infamous is kind of like in this back burner, like on a hiatus. Not so much to the point of like a Resistance franchise, where Resistance is pretty much almost dead unless Insomniac ever decide to go back to Resistance, which I doubt they would actually do that. But I would assume Resistance is like more dead, whereas Infamous, I think, is probably just on the back burner. Let Sucker Punch do this. Let them, see if they can come back to their normal standards of making phenomenal games, and then see maybe if they want to go back to Infamous. So I right now think Infamous is gone for the time being. I think it's actually a good thing. I think they kind of ran themselves into the ground with Second Son. I think they maybe needed a break before it, and they should have done this earlier, but this is just where we're at now. So let me know what you guys think of this new game that we got to see from Sucker Punch in the comments below. Again, we're going to be having a few more videos as the days go on about Sony's conference. We'll be talking about The Last of Us and just a recap of the conference in general. So make sure you watch those videos as well. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now, like and share the video for more of this stuff, and I will see you guys on the next video. Just to let you guys know, we're going to be doing a Star Wars Battlefront 2 Community Day event on Sunday, November 19th and Sunday, November 26th, where Tyler and I will be playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 from 1 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we want to play with you. Those who have Star Wars Battlefront 2, we welcome you to play with us. We'll be collecting your names and hopefully being able to get into groups with you. We want to play with you, and we're giving you some incentive to do such. We're going to be giving away one $25 Fandango gift card to a person that plays with us on each event, as well as one $15 Fandango gift card to somebody who watches us on each event. So both events are going to have one set each of the gift cards, $125 and $115 for events 1 and 2. Again, this is taking place November 19th to the 26th. We hope to see you there.